Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot, where we explore re-empowerment. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I am a spiritual medium and intuitive reader, and I've got a guided message for Scorpio today. We're going to go on this journey together to discover and uncover the message from Spirit and from our guides for you this week on your spiritual journey. So we start with our first card, the Four of Wands. With this card, I'm feeling like there's a tendency to want to stay in some kind of box, to stay in some kind of place. This house back here that's maybe a little bit too rigid, a little bit too comfortable, and has been starting to feel confining. It's like snails change their shells when they become too big. That's what this is starting to feel like, that this shell you're wearing on the outside is just not fitting anymore because the being has become bigger. Now our next card is the Ten of Wands. So we have Four of Wands and Ten of Wands. And I'm feeling like this is recognizing that staying in this box, staying in this containment or container has created some kind of heaviness in you, or a regret or a sadness, because you think of all the things that you've been forced to carry or been burdened with because you've chosen to stay in this small box. And so there's a moment of heaviness. I want to remind you, I'm curious to see what the other cards are, but I do want to remind you, we do have a lot of green here. And the green is to assure you of growth and nurturing, that even though you were carrying things that were very hard to carry, situations and people and responsibilities and expectations, even though you were carrying them, they did play a role in making you stronger. They help you cut out a path that is more direct and more specific because of everything that you have learned from taking on those burdens. Someone without taking those burdens may have had more paths, more options, but that's kind of more time to get lost on those different paths and options. Because you've taken on so much, your way forward is kind of one direction. It's unidirectional. There's not different paths. There's not different choices. It's given you a stronger sense of where you're going. Kind of like a horse with blinders on. You're like, this is where I'm going. So even though there's this sadness, there may be some regret, there may be some of that heavier grief that you're feeling, you're also invited to celebrate, because it has made you who you are, and it has helped you create a very strong way forward. This strength of purpose forward is, I don't want to say it's a luxury, but it's not always the case for everyone. But for you this time, this is really a gift. So our next card, a little bit lighter guy here, King of Cups, Princess of Pentacles opposing him, and then another King of Pentacles. So between the two. Now this is funny, because at first this looks like a choice between emotional and material comforts, right? She's trying to figure out what she wants. She's got her provider king on this side, who could provide lots of materials, and on this side we've got the King of Cups. But I'm being asked to look beyond just these kind of mundane readings of the card and look at what these truly represent for you, because water and earth are complementary elements. They work together. They're about sensing. And what this is actually talking about is the combination of the inner and the outer sensing coming together. She's trying to figure out this pentacle. She's trying to learn it. She's observing with her five senses what this pentacle means, how it smells, how it tastes, how it feels in her hand, what it looks like, how, what it would feel like if she did this to it. She's trying to learn that, and he's the master of this domain, and he's willing to receive information about what you'd like to be receiving in the physical world. The King of Cups, however, he's looking for something else. He's looking for liaison, he's looking for partnership, and that King of Cups looks for connection. Connection can mean lots of things. It can mean connection to yourself, connection to your higher self, connection to your guides and your loved ones on the other side. It can mean connections to other people. But in this case, you're actually being asked to let him go for a second, let go of him, and to look at your connection to the land. Look at your connection to what is actually tangible and what is actually real. And to allow yourself to receive those things in the reality that you want to receive. He's looking for potential. And you see, it's interesting when I hold them all together, you can see that part of looking for that potential in a relationship or that potential connection, that has caused a lot of this carrying of burdens. And that's caused you to be stuck in that little boundary, in that little box. And these two lovely Pentacles cards come out to ask you to explore in a safe and grounded way more of what you'd like to experience kind of in the material world. But what this really means is forming a relationship with your time here on earth. Forming a positive relationship, a positive, loving relationship for the earth plane, for you on the earth plane, you as part of this earth plane. I think because of all the regret and disappointment and sadness that we were feeling here, there's just kind of a resistance to wanting to really embrace the life that's put in front of you. And these two cards here are reminding you that that is your strength as well. Really embracing your spiritual path, really embracing the materials that define your spiritual path, the material world and the kind of the earthiness that comes with materials. This is about deeply listening to the wisdom of the earth. This is about deeply listening to the wisdom of others. Not the ones that necessarily profess to be wise, but there's wisdom in every statement from everyone. I believe you can learn something from everything that everyone says. So there's a lot of wisdom in tiny little things. The shape of a fork, or taking a walk, or why a tree is the way it is, or why a person looks a certain way. There's so much information to be found there. And those are the places they're asking you to explore. I'm not sure if it's just a distraction from the emotional sadness you're feeling here, or if it's trying to help you get to a place of acceptance and contentment and calm. When you're able to really embrace your situation, embrace everything that's happening, and understand that it's okay as part of you, then it is possible to start to shift and change and going on your path. Because as we talked about before, your path in front of you is very clear what it is that you're doing. But these two forces coming together to help you out really help make that path deeper. I do want to draw another card because I'd like to clarify what's going on here. So we're going to look at the bottom two. Okay. All right, so we've got the Six of Pentacles, restoring balance, and the World, attainment of wholeness, being able to dance with your higher self and your lower self. These are lovely cards together, all of these together. So for some reason, your focus this week is less about that deep inner spiritual emotional quest and more about the deep outer material quest. Not that you're on a quest to possess everything material in the world, but it's to find the value in the material, to really understand the value in the physical, in the value of, a flower, of a plant, of the way someone's arm is shaped, the way textiles are made, something like that. It's about finding profound wisdom in things that are seemingly mundane. So that before your next step on this path, seems to be the direction that you're being asked to go. Questions on that, Scorpio, please let me know. I always love to hear from you, and it's lovely to receive your comments. I would love to see you next week. I do these readings every Saturday. And if you're looking for more one-on-one personalized guidance, I do offer one-on-one readings. You can check out my website, trueguidancetarot.com, find more information there. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.